Alrighty, guys, welcome back. This is episode 15 of Baseball and Whatever. We got some good stuff today. We're going to talk about the Cubs, the Sox, and then we are going to get into our top 5 supporting Seinfeld characters, which I'm pretty psyched about that. But probably most importantly, oh, by the way, I'm Justin, there's Greg. But more importantly, the third part of our posse, the third musketeer, is back. Vinny, welcome back, dude. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for inviting me back. I figured listen to you, both of you guys.
You're a mainstay,
guys.
dude.
I thought I was gonna be gone.
No, we couldn't replace you.
We were struggling. We were struggling here. So
it's
you guys sounded great.
Greg had to sit and talk to me for an hour and a half, like 4 times. That's a lot of work. So
I think the other part was even harder on Justin, having to deal with me and the Bond references.
I had nobody to look at, be like, Vinny, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, you guys and your Max Zor, and I didn't know Christopher Walken.
I had no idea.
I'm like, oh,
I had no idea.
Oh,
nope.
God.
Nope. I thought Max Zorin and Max Shrek were the same guy.
They pretty much are. So
I thought they were
complete loons. But anyway.
Yes. But anyway, so like I said, we are Baseball and Whatever. If this is your first time listening, you can find us on YouTube by searching Baseball and Whatever. You can find us wherever your podcasts are downloaded from by searching Baseball and Whatever. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/baseball and whatever, and Twitter at Baseball and What. So feel free to reach out to us. If you would like an easy way to find all those links, just go to linktree.com/baseball and whatever, and it will break down all those links for you. But without further ado, so we can officially get started with the 3 of us all back together again. Greg, take it away. What emails, tweets, comments do we have this week?
Thank you, Justin. We got a little bit of correspondence on YouTube here, and apologies in advance. I do have my youngest daughter down here, so if she starts screaming and yelling, well, you know what that is.
Yeah,
but anywho, so a couple new subscribers on YouTube. I know, Vinny, you've been getting us some followers on Twitter as well, which has been friggin' awesome. But we'll revisit YouTube and give John Werner, Topher0987, and Shayla. Thank you for
definitely
subscribing to our channel. Shayla, we're actually going to be talking to coming up here soon. We got an episode in store for you. And then we got a couple of comments on some of our previous videos from Dream Factory 86 on YouTube. Only in first by 8 games. Pathetic. Should be up 15 by now. Fire LaRussa. All right, Dream Factory.
I'm thinking I think we need some sarcasm on that one.
A little bit, yeah. You know, I mean, that was left a couple days ago, but hey, I like the passion a little bit.
Yeah.
Whether you're serious or sarcastic, whatever, I definitely can feel for you because I was
anything.
Dead serious. You know, saying that stuff when I made that video. Bubble and Bro on YouTube writes in, the thumbnail looks like Altuve. Okay, this was just a comment on the MLB The Show 21 hairstyles.
Those things are still our most watched videos.
Yeah.
Months and months ago. I did look at the thumbnail and it does look like Altuve. So good observation. And lastly, SK Gaming 0109 on YouTube. If you're listening, you asked Baseball and Whatever, how do I find RH2? Now he's talking about the MLB The Show bat slam and home run celebration. SK Gaming, I believe if you just continue down the video, it covers 2, 3, and 4. So all I got to do is keep watching. And if that's not what you mean, then
let us know.
Let me know and be out. So
nice.
There we go. That was on YouTube.
Awesome. A couple housekeeping things. We're pretty psyched. We have a couple things in the works. We are... All of a sudden, we went from a bunch of interviews to no interviews for 2.5 months to now we have potentially 3 interviews. One in particular this week, we're going to be interviewing Chris, who actually worked for at Comiskey Park, which then became U.S. Cellular Field, which then became Guaranteed Rate. But I think he said he worked there for 17 years. So he's going to tell us some stories and some of the background history of what it was like to work at a baseball stadium. That'll be Thursday. And then we got some other stuff in the works with some other podcasts that we might be collaborating with. So stay tuned and we'll keep you posted on that. But I guess without further ado, let's get this thing started. We're going to talk about the White Sox first. And Greg, you came up with the question of the week and then I made the video for it. So we asked our viewers and listeners Is Tony La Russa the manager of the year this year for the American League? And we got quite a few different responses. You want to go ahead and read those?
From Patrick on Facebook, Patrick writes in, absolutely, he has taken a wild card team and turned it into a front runner in the AL. Additionally, he has been able to plug in all the right pieces into huge lineup holes because of injury. The media hates him because he is old and a little crusty. That's why I hate him too. Screw them, and this man knows baseball. I'm not arguing the man knows baseball. And I'm actually inclined, guys, I give Tony La Russa a lot of shit on this podcast, and I will continue to give him a lot of shit on this podcast. But you know what? I was thinking about it more, and there is some points to that. It's hard to tell how many wins the manager is good for. This team is good, but Patrick writes, this team is also hurt. When we started the beginning of the season, you looked at this team and be like, oh, anyone can manage this team. Look at it now, we're like 4 key guys still gone, to this day. Yep. Plug and play in random dudes. The offense has been down. You got a couple good starting pitchers, but Giolito, Keuchel haven't been themselves. It's like, hey, there might be something he's instilling in these guys to kind of keep this culture alive or keep this keep this thing going a little bit of lessons in winning baseball, from his knowledge or something like that. So, like I said, I don't know, but it could be something there.
Yep.
Chris on Facebook writes, he will win as long as the Sox keep pace and win the division. I agree with that. I believe the real AL manager of the year at this point is Scott Service from Seattle. Chris, I was thinking the exact same thing just the other day when I came up with the question. I'm like, Scott Service, that's another guy to look at. And Chris continues to write, for a team that has no business, meaning the Seattle Mariners, vying for a playoff spot, they've been really solid with a ton of no-name players. You're absolutely right. I agree with that. I would definitely be, if Tony didn't win it, which that doesn't matter. I don't really care. But, Scotty Service, ex-Cubs catcher. I think that'd be another good choice too, because that's a team that had, no expectation. Like some kind of, shithead team, putzing around with the Angels there in the AL West or something. But they're a solid team, and they've got a pretty darn good record for the guys that got trotting out there. So
didn't they get no hit twice?
I believe they did. Yes.
Yeah, they did. But they're still
there.
They're still there. Yeah, they're still there. So, and friend of the pod, Vince writes in, if they win it all, yes, this team is talented. Anybody could manage this team. If they win it all, well, I mean, technically that doesn't really matter because the voting, takes place before
give him a break. He's old
before the postseason starts. But this team is talented. Anybody could manage this team. Like I said before, maybe towards the beginning of the year we could have said that. Like now, I think that case is a little different with
Goodwin and Hamilton out there.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. Exactly right. I mean, the name goes on. I mean, we got the young guys up. The guys that are kind of, coming back to light a little bit. You said Billy Hamilton, Jake Lamb before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brian Goodwin out of nowhere. He's batting cleanup for this team.
Yeah, who saw that coming?
It's like, wow. And nobody. Shaky bullpen. Yeah. And your ace not having, your ace who's not the ace this year. So right. a lot of interesting stuff. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys have a thought on this?
Vinny, go ahead. I got to think about this more. I don't know.
I mean,
Greg, you hit it right on the head.
I just got to say, I'm not like if he doesn't win this award, I think it's before. It's like I'm not gonna lose sleep over the manager of the year. I mean, Rick Renteria was a candidate last year. How I feel about him. So, whoever wins it wins it. I just like to see a guy. Like I said before, like Chris said, if it goes to a guy like Scott Service, I think that. I think that's totally awesome, but it's just not like an award that I'm just like, man.
That's not what you care about. It'll be like it'll
be like
you care about a World Series, not manager of the year.
Exactly. But it's an interesting thought after all the shenanigans that was going on. But go ahead, Vinny.
I was going to say, Greg, you hit it right on the head. I mean, at the beginning of the year, you would say, no, this team is stacked. There's no way that he should be part of that. They should be running away with the whole league.
100%. I said it on this podcast.
Yeah. Just with all the injuries and everything, they're still able to pull away in the division.
Yeah.
It's actually quite amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I see. I have a hard time separating my feelings on him personally versus how he's doing.
Plus, all the Cubs suffering is just damaging you, Justin.
Yeah,
I hear it in your voice.
I'm in a glass case of emotion right now.
No word on KB yet either.
No.
I heard he left.
I'm thinking maybe that was a precautionary thing. I heard he dove. Maybe it was precautionary. I don't know. But anyway, in terms of La Russa, I mean, I think you guys nailed it in the beginning of the season. I would have said no. They're stacked. You had pretty much amazing players at almost every position, and now they're really they're going to have to scrap and claw, and they have. I mean, because like you said, you got guys like Goodwin and Lamb, and guys that probably didn't deserve another shot at the pros.
Random
and here
dudes,
they are, So in that regard, I guess he's twisting the levers and pushing the buttons, and to his credit, I will say I really thought he was going to have a hard time playing some of those younger rookies when they kind of got called up, and I thought he'd maybe stick more with the older veteran guys, kind of like how Dusty Baker used to do, going back a ways with the Cubs. But to his credit, he's playing them and they're succeeding. So good on him, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thanks to those guys for writing in.
Yes, thank you.
Chris is the one we'll be interviewing on Thursday, and then Patrick. It's weird for me to call him Patrick. He was actually one of my high school history teachers, so it was nice of him to know that he's listening. Mr. D, that's what we called him.
Mr. D. I'm sure he expects that. So
I believe he's a big Cubs fan. At least I thought he was back in like 2004, but I could be wrong.
Send in the Cubs stuff, Patrick, or see. Mr. D, excuse me.
Yeah. Put some respect on it, right?
Yes, exactly. We're all about respect on this podcast.
That's right. So I don't know. What do you like how you snuck that in, Greg?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Where do you want to go next with the White Sox talk, Greg?
Just a couple notes here, and please, you guys jump in at any time and share what you think. We were talking about Gavin Sheets the other day. Someone tweeted a great trade deal to send Sheets to the Cubs for Kimber. I'm like, yes, sign me up for that. I don't know why everyone was so upset about that. I thought that was fantastic.
That was I think I tweeted that at like 12:30 in the morning. I don't remember what I was thinking.
Deprived or
I was sleep deprived.
What was wrong with that one?
Yeah, I've been going to bed at like 2:00. My sleep schedule is all messed up.
Working on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
No. I just, I got nothing better to do being off. So
looking for that PS5.
Yeah, that too. So I think I was a little sleep deprived when I tweeted that. But if you want to throw in some more prospects, maybe then we could talk. So how about Nikki Batts as well?
Nikki Batts
and Gavin Sheets.
In all seriousness, though, depending on what the Sox do with second base here. If they get a controllable guy, I guess Adam Frazier would be the controllable one. Nikki Batts might actually be a trade piece.
I could see him.
I mean, you would have to, right?
Yeah.
Then he's blocked if you get Frazier.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
exactly.
I mean,
what about Javi? You could put Javi at second.
I would take Javi at second. Yeah. I think
Javi for Sheets straight up.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Yep. I would give you a little bit more too. I'm just trying to help you out here. But
you are being very generous.
Yeah. Greg's riding high right now on the Sox.
I am Well, when Gavin Sheets, and I listened to a podcast he was on, and he grew up and his dad played on the Orioles, so he knew like Cal Ripken and everything.
Yeah.
So, Cal Ripken trained with him and was also one of his high school coaches along with his dad.
Wow.
But yesterday, and it just felt extra great, guys, because it was against the fucking Minnesota Twins, I mean, I've told you guys before, when Jim Thome walked off the White, when he was on the Twins and he hit that bomb off of Matt Thornton at Target Field. That's the only Twins moment I like, and that was all more because I like Jim Thome. But the Sox were such garbage that year. It's like, yeah, you deserve that, Matt Thornton. You suck. But this felt good, guys. I mean, what was it? Jose Barrios was in, and that was a no doubter. That he looked like Jim Thome up there.
Yeah, he did.
That Minnesota.
That swing. That was a great swing.
That was a bomb. And I don't know if you guys heard the call. Jason and Len had amazing calls. If you didn't listen, go back and listen to it. I've heard Len Casper is fantastic.
He's good.
I've heard him get excited. I don't know if I've heard him get this excited. You know, Jason Benetti always has great walk-off calls. I don't know if I might have liked Len's better. I don't know if I've ever heard him that enthusiastic before, because that stadium just lit up when Sheets hit that. So great moment. And just before that, Giolito and Rodon just showing off the size of their wings against the Astros, man. I'm like, whipping it out. Here it is. Take that. Sorry, I didn't want to say dick on the podcast.
Oops. So you just did.
Hold on, now I got to check the explicit box.
That. Dick, in case you need to,
Richard
it out again. Richard, swinging Richards out there. Look at this; it's enormous, and they just shut down those Houston trash throws, man.
Yeah,
just goddamn, just felt so good. Giolito, second half, I'm back. Rodon just continuing his dominance there.
Yeah, good for him.
So that just felt. Oh God, that felt so good.
He is going to get paid this offseason somewhere.
He is. This is a goofy one. He's a Scott Boras client.
Oh, is
he? He is. So this is going to be interesting, because we brought this up before. Vinnie, you asked me, should the Sox sign Carlos Rodon? I was hesitant at first. I'm feeling better now, but with Rodon, there's always the injury with me. That's always in the back of my head, and it makes me nervous, especially that. We already have a Boras client on this team with Dallas Keuchel. That's whatever. Rodon, he's going to be looking for a huge payday.
Yeah.
And, he doesn't owe the White Sox really any favors.
No, he doesn't.
They cut him, and then he's pitching for like $3 million right now.
Yeah.
So he's, he does live here, blah, 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 whatever. Kids go to school here, but that's going to be an interesting one, what they do with that. And Jerry Reinsdorf does not like to sign pitchers.
He's going to want a long-term deal too.
I would think
he's going to want one. What do you think? You think he wants something longer than 4? You think he gets something longer than 4?
I was thinking 5. Well, how old is he?
How old is he?
28, 29, I think.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't think I'd go any higher than 5. I mean, as an organization, I don't know what his thoughts would be, but.
See, the only thing that I'm hesitant, guys, is the injury.
He's 28.
28. Okay, so most of his tenure with the White Sox, he's been hurt. He's been really good with them, but he's amazing this year.
Right. Well, y'all saw him together.
Yeah, that's right. He had Tommy John. He's working with Ethan Katz. So I mean, there's a lot of good things happening here too. But it's gonna, boil down. I would just hate to see him go somewhere else and be dominant. Like that's what's gonna kill me. That would kill me more if he. Stuck here and, was hurt or something like that.
Yeah.
So, sorry guys, I'll wrap this up. Renato Lopez is back. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
See, there's your 5th starter next year, Greg.
So, okay. So he had a relief appearance, a couple of days ago, and then he started the second game of the doubleheader and did fine. I guess his relief appearance was fine. I know the Sox are looking for a right-handed bullpen piece. I don't know if this is them testing it out, see what they got, starting the reclamation project. Can't imagine they're trying to, show him off to trade. I don't know who would want him because you could probably get him for free. But it's an interesting one. He had 8 ERA in Charlotte. I mean, bad in AAA, man. So. But on the other side of me is like, okay, Ronaldo, he came with Adam Eaton. So, let's see if he can do anything for us, I guess, but keep that leash short in case he starts giving up. Guys start going yard at him, because we can't have that because our bats are struggling. Okay. Continuing on, the big bastard all-star is back for 2 years and $38 million. Lance Lynn. I love this deal, guys. Rick Hahn does it again. How does he do it, man? It's almost like he rewards players for pitching well and gets them on team-friendly deals. And Lance Lynn, appears to be happier because he said he wanted to stay.
He did.
Probably could have gotten more longevity in free agency, but I think it's a fantastic deal, guys, and I feel a hell of a lot better about the Sox future with this guy around. Will he regress? Sure, but I mean, what he'll regress to is, he's got a below 2 ERA right now, so
right.
I'm looking forward to all of that. So age did scare me when we did trade for him, but I actually really watched this guy pitch, for the first time ever. I knew Lance Lynn. I never really paid attention to him pitching before. Yep. Man, he just goes up there and he just throws and just doesn't care. Doesn't look to be affected by anything. So.
No, he just kind of chucks it up there and then dares people to hit it,
Right.
But
exactly. It's a variation of fastballs, low to mid 90s, swing and miss. So happy to have him for the next couple of years, and then the club option for 2020.
I saw that too.
Yep. So nice job again, Rick Hahn. They should have won a start the other night too. God damn it! But they can't hit the damn ball. Lastly, guys, and I'll shut up. Luis Robert cleared starting tomorrow. Winston-Salem rehab assignment. The boys are coming back.
Oh, good.
Eloy Robert, we're getting these guys back, and Tony La Russa will remain irrelevant or continue to be irrelevant.
That's good to hear.
that is the only thing you'd ever want.
I feel like Eloy was putting so much out there about him coming back. You didn't really hear much about Luis Robert, but now at least he's got this rehab.
Right, kind of right behind it. You guys hear Eloy made like two errors in Winston-Salem and like another one in Charlotte and left.
Maybe
the only starts he had in field. It's like, oh God, why? Andrew Vaughn's a good left fielder, man.
I think that might be the way.
He just doesn't get hurt out there, right? You don't care what he does in the minors.
I don't, but that's the thing. If he gets like, because that's what it's going to be. Yeah. If he just takes a bad route to the ball, like we expect that. Just don't get hurt.
Yep.
That's the concern here, because that's all he's done in the outfield. He's gotten hurt. So other than that, he's caught most of everything because it's been easy. So
he needs to be like the boy in the bubble, like just encase him in plastic until he gets back, and then probably maybe just don't put him in the outfield. Let him DH. I don't know. I don't know what you do with that, but. Yeah. I legitimately could see him hurting himself again before the playoffs. The way he plays, I
have no problem like him playing, left field every so often, but not every day is kind of, scary. You don't want him getting hurt. You don't want him hurt anyone else out there.
No, that's exactly. Thing, yeah.
It's like, good God. But that's what I have for the White Sox, guys. Any thoughts on any of that? I know I covered a lot.
No, I mean, at least for me, it's from, an outsider looking in. It's just exciting to see, the south side of the city so excited. I know on Twitter, there were some Cubs fans, some of the Cubs people we follow on Twitter were kind of riling up the White Sox fans, because I think the other night they only had like 25,000 fans. And it's like, oh, man. Oh, yeah. You got such a good team, but... I know they've been saying that there's been a lot of issues with people getting into the park with traffic and with ticket procedures. And so maybe that's what's keeping people away. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, Justin. I didn't really have any trouble.
No. Okay. I'm trying to be the,
I know
middle ground here.
I mean, that's just the old story. I mean, White Sox, we'll see it sell out in the postseason. But let's just keep on winning. There's definitely been more. It still doesn't sell out, but it's good to see. It's good to see some people there. The key is to see, it's night games on the weekdays. You're never going to get
not there
anyway. But there has been more, which has been nice. Just to see a couple. I mean, you still see the empty spots, but
you definitely don't see as many empty seats on TV anymore.
No, exactly. Exactly. So
I mean, I guess that's a plus,
right?
So, but no, I mean, that's all I got for the Sox. I mean, Greg, Vinny, you got any parting words for the White Sox before we move on to the, I was
just going to ask Greg, what's with the hate on Lucas Giolito from Sox fans? I feel like on Twitter that there's a ton of people that just love to bash him for some reason. And they're like, oh, he's not a starter. Look at him. Or he's not an ace. Look at him. Look at his stats. It's like, wow. Like,
yeah, no, you're
I would take him in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's the whole, sticky stuff thing surrounding him, the spin rate dropping. And then, more recently, he had the Donaldson mix up. But guys, he was kind of struggling to start the season. Yeah. And, Sox fans are worried about, the regression back to what he was. And it is odd because his high school pitching coach, the guy that helped him kind of regain his stuff a little bit, is now the coach. Is Ethan Katz is now the pitching coach, and now he's seems to be struggling up there. I kind of played it a little bit towards losing losing McCann a little bit. I think McCann did a lot with him.
I think you're right.
Yep.
Because let's say Ethan Katz is not seeing, Lucas Giolito behind the plate. That's one thing that, there are many things, obviously, but that is one thing, in my opinion, cannot be matched because the catcher sees what the batter sees. Ethan Katz can only see what's going on, from the side or whatever else. McCann sees it from behind the plate. So there might be, that rapport there, that, that game planning there that he's missing. But that start against Houston was promising to kind of kick off the second half right here. So hopefully that continues and these Giolito haters shut up, man, because stick by this guy. I mean, he hasn't been great, but he hasn't been like, oh God, awful. Because this guy used to be terrible to the point where Ronaldo Lopez was the best piece we got in the Adam Eaton trade. So
I remember that.
We were saying that for
yes, I remember that.
I probably said that comes in. Oh yeah, he looks great, and then look how that turned out. So,
yeah.
Let's just see how the second half goes, and but I would agree that I'm still a huge fan of Lucas Giolito. I hope he, keeps, figuring stuff out and comes along. But as far as the ace goes, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, overall encompassing going into the season, at least, we're like, he is the ace. But this year, I don't know who I'd give it to. I mean, if you're starting game one, of a playoff series, it's going to be Lance or Rodon, depending.
That's what I was going to say.
With Giolito, third, and probably I'd probably Dylan Cease fourth. So
maybe he just needs Don Cooper back.
Yeah,
that's weird. That's kind of scary. That's kind of scary to think about because I thought Don Cooper was a huge part of Giolito's success,
right?
Until I found that's why when Don Cooper left, I'm like, oh man, this is bad. Yeah. And then I think we found out more and more stuff about like, oh no, Don Cooper was actually kind of a bad dude.
Yeah.
So he was actually, he thought he was a made man, but not so much.
No.
But then when you find out Julian went back to Ethan Katz to say kind of, okay, I had the worst season in Major League Baseball. What am I doing wrong here? And he worked with him.
Right.
He worked with him and then he came back. So I don't know. I don't know if Coop's a thing, but that's it's kind of weird to think about. So I would lean more towards McCann. That's my thing. What's going on?
Okay.
But, okay. We'll see. We'll see. Man.
Well,
hoping for the best.
From one team, the world is their oyster, to another team who is quickly plummeting to the bottom. I don't know. I can't think. I'm trying to think of some more illustrious
Let's see,
words.
2 games under 500 right now.
Yeah, but they don't deserve to be 2 games under 500.
They're going to be 3 after tonight.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Bunch of hot garbage. All right. So we do know. So switching to the Cubs, we know Chris Bryant was pulled in the 5th inning at tonight's game. I was looking on Twitter real quick. Apparently, it was officially claimed that he left due to right hamstring fatigue. Okay, so I guess it's not a trade thing.
Did he pull it? I've never heard of a hamstring just getting fatigued. Did he pull it?
A little tired.
I mean, after I run on the treadmill, my hamstrings are fatigued too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means. At this point, the Cubs clearly have no interest in giving him a contract. They don't want to pay him. I don't even know if you would call it fair market value. They just don't want to pay him, period. Right. I mean, and I think a lot of it has to do with Boris too.
Do we know that they don't want to pay?
Do we know that
they don't want to pay him?
They're so secretive. Nobody knows.
Yeah. Well, we've heard through rumors that Baez and Rizzo have both been offered a contract.
Yes.
Bryant hasn't, but does Boris just not even pick up the phone when he sees it's
Jed
the
Hoyer,
Cubs front office? Yeah, Jed Hoyer.
He should be picking up the phone to due diligence to the client at least. But I don't know what the offer is. But maybe not. Like I don't know.
Well,
he has the intern answer the phone.
Who is this?
Yeah.
The Cubs? Nope, sorry, wrong number. But I've gone back and forth with some of his injuries and some of he'll go on these week-long, month-long, I don't want to call them benders, but like where he can't hit his way out of a paper bag. But I mean, the fielding is always there. The willingness to play 2/3 of other positions on the field, damn near. I am going to miss him because I think it's inevitable. He will be gone at some point this season or in the off season. And I did pull up, I didn't realize just how well he had played because I feel like some years he had, rough years, but looking back, the stats don't really tell that is the case. So this was from Greg Huss. He's under Real Cub Insider on Twitter, and he's a part of the Growing Cubs podcast. 2015, Bryant played 151 games. His slash line was 275, 369, and a 488 with 136 weighted runs. I don't know what that stat stands for. Vinny, do you know what WRC plus is?
Yeah, weighted runs created.
Thank you.
The plus takes into account locations, different stadiums, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Factors.
So that was 2015. Yep. And then 2016, he played 155 games, batted 292, 385 on base, 554 slugging, and then a 148 weighted runs. 2017, 151 games, 295, 409 on base, and a 537 slugging with one run less for the WRC plus. 2018, he only played 102 games, but he still batted 272, 374, and 460. And then 2019, he played 147 games, batted 282, 382 on base, and a 521 slugging. So you look back on his season, his tenure as a Cub, and it's like he really still was a good, strong producing Cub. So it's kind of sad that they can't come to terms with him, whether it's the Cubs not coming to terms or Bryant not coming to terms. Because I mean, this is the kind of guy, as soon as you lose this guy, you're automatically trying to replace him. And let's be realistic, Tom Ricketts or Jed Hoyer, they're not going to be able to replace somebody that quickly that's of Chris Bryant's level. So I don't know. It's just, I mean, I get it. It's inevitable at this point, but I think it's still going to be kind of a bummer once he's no longer in Cubby Blue. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
yeah, he's the only one of the four that I think that they should sign.
I am right there with you.
If you're looking at the stats, and I keep seeing this pop up on Twitter that, he's a guy you build around. Well, if you're just looking at the stats and you're looking at his WRC plus, he's never been excellent. Per Fangraphs,
sure.
Excellent would be over 160.
Oh, he's never even, I mean, he's never even hit 150. Yeah.
He's been great. And I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's a superstar.
No.
And a lot of people say, well, he is a superstar, but I don't think he should be paid Trout money.
No.
He should get paid. He should at least get more than Hayward.
Yeah, good God.
I think Chirinos, the backup catcher, might be worth more than Hayward at this point. But
yeah, and I know my dad always says that, Chris, he always calls Chris Bryant a bum. And he's not alone. There's a lot of people that say he's not clutch.
Yeah.
And I was looking at that because I was like, I wonder how true that is. So I pulled up the stats situational runners in scoring position. He's hitting 263 career lifetime.
Okay.
With runners in scoring positions with 2 outs, he's hitting 245. Now comparing that to the gold standard, I'd say, is Mike Trout for superstar level.
Sure.
With runners in scoring position, Mike Trout's hitting 321, and with 2 outs, he's hitting 266.
There's your superstar. Yeah.
Yes. And now if you have men on with 2 outs, he's hitting 273, Mike Trout. And with a man on third with 2 outs, less than 2 outs, he's hitting 463.
And that's clutch. Yeah. Man, why is he stuck with the Angels? Good Lord.
It's really unfortunate.
It is.
Then Chris Bryant with men on with 2 outs, he's hitting 256, and man on third with less than 2 outs, he's hitting 328. It's solid.
Okay.
I mean,
he's good
numbers.
He's good.
Right.
And he does, and in those categories I just listed off, Chris Bryant doesn't have an OPS of under 850, which again is
good.
Really good.
Yeah.
He's great. But is he Mike Trout? No. Should he get paid like Mike Trout?
No,
absolutely not. And you don't pay a person for their past performances.
Exactly.
Yes, they won a World Series. You don't pay him for that. I'm sorry. You just don't. That's how you get Jason Hayward type contract.
Yeah.
Although I do have to put a caveat on that. Jason Jason Hayward's contract is well worth it for just the speech alone. He gets all the money there.
Just the speech. He's earned it.
He is going to make a lot of money doing TED Talks or TED Talks. Yeah. I mean, Vinny, I think you nailed it. And that is why Vinny is the statistician of the podcast. Because that was lacking, I think, from me and Greg, because we definitely wouldn't know how to even find that kind of information on Fangraphs. So thank you, Vinny. Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think you make a great point of like that, almost like the Hall of Very Good as opposed to the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like he's got some good numbers. He's a good player. He can be clutch at times, but like you said, I would not consider him a superstar, especially when you look at Mike Trout. So great comparison. We also know that the fire sale began last week. Jock Peterson was traded to Atlanta for the number 12 player in their system, who is first baseman Bryce Ball. And he is age 24. He is currently in high single A, batting .203, a .347 on base, and a .737 slugging. So
man.
Yeah. I don't. Is he even going to make it to AAA with the organization? I don't know. I mean,
he should. He's the number 8.
Number 12. Number 8.
Well, he's the number 8 in all of baseball. The number 8 first base prospect.
We can see this guy in the big leagues.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Justin, don't look at this year's numbers because he started in 2019 playing professional. He didn't play any of 2020. And so he's had an entire year off. And when he was playing, let's see here.
Well, I mean, his on base, I would take that. I mean, that alone, the fact that that's still relatively high is a good thing. So, I mean,
I think he started in 2018.
Okay. So still relatively young.
Yep. In 2019, though, he hit 329 on base percentage of 395, slugs 628. So PS of over 1. So 1.023. So don't look at this year.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's encouraging though to hear that. So
even this year, other than the batting average,
everything else
what you're willing to that,
isn't too bad.
Number 12 prospect, 8, first baseman overall.
Yeah,
I mean, look at this too. I mean, the Braves, they might. The Braves are falling apart, just like the Cubs are pretty much. So.
Greg, were you the one that you think they're going to flip Jock Peterson?
Yeah. I think, well, here's what it is. The Braves, got rid of a guy that, Freddie Freeman could potentially be blocking if they end up going long term. And then if this continues to fall apart, which looks like it's doing, I mean, you flip Jock for at least a little piece you need or something like that. I mean, everyone kind of wins in this case or whatever. But I think the trade was solid, especially with the uncertainty of Rizzo and everything. Rizzo's underperforming. You have the back concerns. If you gotta, if you identify a guy who can mash a little bit at first base.
It's worth it.
Hey, why not?
Yep.
Why not, man? Get your Dan Vogelbach back or whatever.
I was just impressed that they were able to actually get something for Jock Peterson that may be decent. Because to be honest, I didn't really expect much.
Minus 0.22 WAR. Yeah, I was surprised they got a bag of balls.
I would have given Dylan Cease. You kidding? Shit.
Okay, Bernstein,
Dylan Cease, and Steve are all them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So.
And Justin, to make you feel a little bit better, last 7 days, Bryce Ball has been hitting 273 on base percentage of 357 and slugging 545.
I'll take it.
Keep an eye on this guy.
I think that might be the future plans down the road, whether it's a year or 2 years, if Rizzo does not come back, which to be honest, I don't know if I love Rizzo, but the way his back has been the last couple seasons, and especially this season, I don't think it's worth it to go long term with him. The Cubs also claimed Frank Schwindel off waivers from the Oakland A's. It looks like Frank Schwindel. This makes me wonder if this is another if Rizzo's gone and they need somebody to play first in a pinch. Looks like from what I could see on Baseball Reference, he's a career minor leaguer. He's age 29. His career minor league stats across all levels. He's a 286 hitter with a 320 on base. So, I mean,
that's interesting what you said just there, Justin. If they're ready to
move on
to move on from Rizzo, if they have a trade in the works, getting that guy to getting that next first baseman up.
That's what I'm
sure
wondering.
I'm sure there's probably someone else they could, but age 29, minor leaguer.
Yeah.
It might make sense to fill that hole, kind of like the D Gordon to the Pirates sort of thing, if that's still going on when they dump Adam Frazier to the White Sox for a lot of people. So
yeah. So we'll see. I would definitely.
It's
I think
interesting.
the fact that they've acquired a first base prospect and they've picked this guy up off of waivers. And again, maybe there's something going on in Iowa that I'm not aware of. I don't follow the Iowa Cubs too much.
They're on marquee. They're on marquee. All the time,
see,
Justin.
if
Iowa Cubs,
if frickin' Tom Ricketts would make a deal and get marquee on more streaming services, but I digress. God,
Just wait a year. Just wait a year, Justin.
Oh, you're gonna be loving it.
You won't be saying that in a year.
You won't be booing it in a year. You won't be booing it in a year.
I was saying boo earns. All right. Lastly, I read this today. John Heyman, who's an MLB insider. I'm not a huge John Heyman fan in general, but he said that he has heard numbers that Javi Baez is possibly looking for a contract over $200 million.
Ooh.
To which I say goodbye, Javi. It was nice knowing you.
$200 million for Baez.
I love Javi Baez. I love the way he plays. Granted, he's having a really rough season. I love the way he makes it look fun and he enjoys the game. I am sorry, Javi, you are not worth $200 million. He's currently batting .244, has a .288 on base and a .492 slugging, but he also leads the league in strikeouts this year and has a career high 17 errors at shortstop. So, I mean, what do you think is a legitimate contract for him if he were to stick around, like 140 million for like 6 years? 200 million is insane. He is not worth $200 million.
You don't know. That's a straight. I was hovering around 160 max. I don't know what you guys think about that.
That's what the Cubs offered him. I think they offered him.
I thought it was 180 they went up to, wasn't it? Or is that too high?
They did go up to 180, but League Cubby Blue, they said that it was between 160 and 170.
Okay.
Over 6 or 7 or
I think it was 7 years.
What are the Cubs? Okay, so we have a little bit of a shortstop market coming up. What do you guys want? I'm actually genuinely curious about this. What do you guys
Trey Turner available?
Trey Turner?
Somebody that doesn't
is he available?
Out. No, I don't think he's available.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought
so.
He was.
That would, if he was, I'm like, holy cow, get Trey Turner. Yeah, there's a guy you want. But
hey, your team's already stacked. Don't slum it with us down here in the Cubs down at the basement.
So, let's see. Some of the free agent. I don't have the list in front of me. I think we got like here. Carlos Correa, Trevor Story. I know Lindor's off the market. Baez.
Here we go.
That's the thing. So
Brandon Crawford, maybe. But
do you think? I mean, I know Lindor and Baez are really close friends.
Lindor's locked up.
Yeah. Do you think though? Does Baez seeing? I mean, Lindor got what, $300 million? Does Baez see that and be like, oh well, I'm just as good as Lindor. I could get that contract. And I do not think he is nearly as good as Lindor.
Has Lindor turned it around this season? Because I know he was starting.
He was struggling too. I don't know. That's a great question.
We're not a Mets pod here.
No. We got to talk to.
We're a little anti-Met here. We got to
call.
Justin is.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. What can I say?
So it's Lindor, Baez, Correa, Story, Seager.
Oh, Corey Seager. Yeah.
Chris Taylor, Brandon Crawford, Miguel Rojas. Greg Garcia, Donovan Solano, and Danny Santana.
Texas?
I don't know. It was with Texas last year. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, out of all the let's see, all those guys are free agents. You're just going to sign a free agent shortstop. Is Baez the guy that you want?
Not out of those,
no, not out of those, huh? Interesting.
I don't know who I'd take. I mean, like I said, I love him. I got his stupid Funko Pop right here. That's how much I like him. But it's
for the right. I mean,
for the
right price.
Yes.
200. Let's see. 200 million might not be on the table here.
No,
because the only teams that need shortstops are the teams that have, shortstops entering free agency.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these guys just might all, go back home or whatever. So
Right.
for the right, so let's just say this, for the right price, forget the 200 million. Let's say we max out at like 175 or something like that over so many years. Is Baez the guy out of those guys? That's not for you, huh?
No.
Is there a guy you'd rather have out of those, like a Story or something?
If I'm ranking them, it'd be Correa, Seager, probably Baez, and then Story. I don't know. I'd have to look more into Story.
Correa had been, that was the guy I had in mind.
Number one, yeah.
I think you're on the right track with it, Vinny.
Yeah.
I think I'd be okay with that. I mean, it's a shame, but I feel like Baez has regressed. I feel like he was at this upward trajectory around the World Series and things were cruising, and then the bottom kind of fell out and he's fallen back into his old ways.
He was MVP of the NLCS that year.
That's right.
And I was like, wow, all right. And then
we're good to go. Yeah.
You know what? Like he disappeared in the World Series.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my tune really quick. I'm going to say Trevor Story actually on the Cubs. I think that would be. I think that's kind of
this year too.
He is. I think that'd be kind of a neat fit though, because you got the glove right there. You got a guy, that's just kind of shitting around in Colorado or whatever. I don't know. I feel like that might be a good fit for the Cubs right there.
I don't know. The last time we took a left side of the infield player was the infamous Ian Stewart, and look how that turned out. So
gotta love Ian Stewart, man. Good old number 24, right? Tyler Coleman and
Ian Stewart was
DJ
LeMahieu.
Now DJ LeMahieu,
that's the one that hurts.
He could still be our second baseman right now. But
Story only costs you money though. All these guys only cost you money. So
that's all I got for the Cubs. Real quick around the Major League, around MLB. This was from our buddy Chris, who we need to make him like our official correspondent because he's been sending so much stuff our way. He said that he found online that the MLB is sending out surveys to random fans asking about upcoming rule changes, which include how they like the runner on second and extra innings, whether or not they should ban position players from being allowed to pitch in blowout games, having a universal DH, what types of playoff formats the fans like, and whether suspended games where something along the lines of if the game is suspended, should they revert back to the first inning or keep going? Which, I mean, that seems kind of silly to me to revert back to the first inning, but that is just something that MLB is sending out. And then the last thing before we get to our whatever section, which was kind of sad, but also what came of it was very interesting, was I know, I think, was it Saturday, Sunday? No, what? I don't even know what day is today. Today's Tuesday, right?
It was over the weekend. Yeah, I think it was
over
Sunday,
the weekend.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, the Nationals and Padres were playing, and apparently there was a drive-by shooting outside the Nationals park on the third base side. And unfortunately, a lot of the people in the stands or in the ballpark did not know if it was coming from outside or inside, which I can't even imagine. That's got to be a scary situation.
Yeah.
But credit to, and I did read this online and I checked a couple different sources, but Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, and Will Myers of the Padres, they went into the dugout and the police locked the clubhouse doors so nobody could get in. Those three guys opened the doors, ran out, and told as many fans to get into the clubhouse to try and keep them safe, which that's pretty cool. I want to say it was Tatis or Machado was quoted as saying, hey, at this point, it's not fans and players. It's just, we're all human beings. And I'm like,
it was Tatis.
Was that Tatis? Okay.
Heroic, man.
So I mean,
a young guy, man.
Yeah. So
I'm glad he's not on the White Sox.
Yeah, I was going to say, those guys could have been White Sox,
but you wouldn't have James Shields. So that's it. I just thought that was pretty neat. If you need another reason to root for the Padres this season, there is one right there. All right. I think that does it for our baseball talk. Should we move on to our whatever section?
Yes.
Let's do it. So if you are just tuning in right now and did not hear the beginning of the show, we are going to be counting down our top 5 Seinfeld recurring characters that are supporting characters. I think the only rule to this that we decided was they had to be a recurring character, and they had, obviously, if they had one episode, and then if they came back at the finale, correct? Is that what we went with? Or they
I was just saying the finale counts.
The finale counts. Okay.
Yeah. The finale counted as a second appearance. And the only reason I said that is because maybe we should, down the line, we'll challenge ourselves and do like a single appearance.
Yes. Well,
that'd be a thinker, you really
had to go through a couple websites looking up supporting characters that had more than one episode. So I got my 5. I'm good, but I also have some. There's a couple that are one time that I really like. So
I don't know
Back to
about
bring
you,
those
Vinny.
back.
I came up with mine pretty quick. How about you? I know you're a huge Seinfeld guy. I don't know how
I came up with
I had
a
trouble.
list,
I had
but it was
trouble
hard ranking them.
That's fair. I played around with number 5 a little bit, but
I probably could have had like 20 honorable mentions.
Easily.
Without a doubt.
But the list was hard to narrow down, and like my top 3 I could interchange. Like there's 1A through 1C pretty much.
I'll be very curious to see how many of us have similar answers.
Me too. My 1 and 2 are a definite lock, but the other 3, 4, 5 and beyond I could go in so many directions with. So this is gonna be interesting.
Good.
I'm excited for this.
All right. Well, I think it's only right that we have the returning man himself, Vinny. Get us started. Who is your top 5 Seinfeld supporting character that has been in more than one episode?
Yep. Number 5 for me is Newman.
Good choice.
There we go.
Good choice.
Kramer's
what about
friend.
Newman do you like?
I'd have to say the whole the spitting incident.
Oh my God. That is one of my
episode,
favorite episodes.
Yeah. Was one of my favorite. It gets spit on.
You think it's Keith Hernandez, right?
Yes.
They think
They believe it's Keith. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was actually
I despise Keith Hernandez. And then at the end of the episode, he's like, "Hey, you want to help me move?" Yeah, sure. Yeah. It wasn't.
I love
it wasn't,
too in that episode that they do the flashback and they make it look like the Zapruder film with like the orange hue on the camera and lens and everything.
Yeah.
And if you guys remember in JFK, Wayne Knight was actually in that movie.
That's right.
And he was actually in that scene, which makes it even funnier. Who was it actually again, Vinny? I know you have his baseball card. It was
McDowell, right?
Yeah, Steve. Oh, not Jack McDowell. It
Roger?
Was
it
Roger
McDowell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Newman dumped his beer, or what did he do? He dumped his beer on him in the dugout or something.
Yep.
I love that scene where Jerry takes was it like a putter, like a golf club?
Exactly.
And he's like trying to that is one magic loogie, you know.
Right.
But great episode, a great character. I want to say I read somewhere that he only did the, Seinfeld only did the "Hello Newman" line like in 12 episodes. Does that sound right? Like it wasn't really as often as people make it out to be.
Actually, 12 sounds about right.
Does that sound about right?
Okay. I think that sounds right.
Because as a kid, I thought that was like every episode, and then
well, it's become a thing. The "Hello Newman."
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello Jerry. So
awesome.
Great call,
Greg. You want to go next?
My number 5 is post-nervous breakdown Lloyd Braun.
Oh, yeah.
I love the Serenity Now and the Gum episode. If you remember, George's Estelle Costanza, why can't you be more like Lloyd Braun?
Yeah.
And, just George's, arch enemy growing up as kids and then again as an adult. We actually first see, now I said post, nervous breakdown because I like that actor better. He's a little more, kooky. You could tell that he was in the, institution for a little bit.
Yeah.
He actually, the character made his first appearance in the frozen yogurt episode, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Where he, the non-fat yogurt or whatever. Yeah. That's when they suggested the name tag.
An advisor to Dinkins.
To Dinkins, yes, absolutely. Right. Played by a different actor.
Yeah, and then he suggested the name tags. That's what got him lost in his job.
That he got from Elaine, right? Didn't Elaine suggest that, and he liked it?
Yes.
And then George, he's a laughing stock, and George's parents, of course, defend him. But when they're selling computers in George's garage, and then when he's getting them the hundreds of cases of gum from Chinatown or whatever. A lot of fun shenanigans with Lloyd Braun. So,
that's awesome.
Of course, a friend of Kramer too, and I think him being enemies with George just makes them all that more funnier. So
I agree. I love the Serenity. Was it Serenity Now? Insanity Later.
Right. Insanity Later.
I
good
that
call
to myself
right
many a time at work. Great pick. All right, my number 5, the one, the only, David Puddy. I love that character, and I don't know why, because he's such a moron. One of my
he's my number 2, Justin.
Is he your number 2?
Yes, he is.
One of my favorite episodes is when Jerry goes to buy a new car and he's haggling with Puddy, who is now he's no longer he's no longer a grease monkey, and that's an offensive term. We don't like that term.
I don't care for that term.
I don't care for that term. Other key David Putty moments. I love when he's got the 8-ball jacket. He's just walking around, it's like 8-ball, like it's a hideous jacket.
Yeah.
The other, I love he's a huge New Jersey Devils fan. I love when he's got the face paint on when I think they're at Madison Square Garden for a Rangers game, and he sees that little old lady and he's like, the Devils, and he scares the hell out of her.
The old priest.
Priest. I'm sorry. And then I also love when you find out that all of a sudden he's very religious, and he tells Elaine,
he's got the Jesus fish on his car.
Jesus fish, and he's like, oh, I don't care. You're going to hell, Elaine, or something like that.
All the Christian rock stations, and everything. So.
His presets. So that is my number 5, David Putty.
One more scene I love from when he becomes a car salesman is, post after they break up with Elaine, the car all of a sudden goes from black to yellow. He's like, yellow, I wanted black. I can't give you black at that price.
I love it. High five. He's trying to do the high five.
On the flip side.
Yeah. It's like, I can't do this. So that is, David Putty, number 5. Good, Vinny. What's your number 4?
Number 4, Morty Seinfeld.
Oh, good pick. Good pick.
I think the time when he's in the doctor's office waiting, my wife will kill me for saying this, but that is her in the doctor's office waiting. If she's waiting there for more than 15 minutes, she is not happy, and I can tell that she's not patient with them.
Let's go already.
Waiting in here 1515 minutes. Doctor hasn't even been in here yet. Or then when he comes back,
they haven't stolen Gretchen's wallet. No one's taking Gretchen's wallet.
My wallet's gone. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I don't see how that could have happened. You don't say. You don't say.
I also love
that, and then the fact that he's always talking about how he's been in the raincoat business, the raincoat business.
Yes,
and then working at J. Peterman.
Yes,
schedule a late meeting.
Yeah.
One of George's better pieces of advice, to tell you if you think about it. That is a good one. So,
he's such a good character, and I love that. I remember, was it the first couple episodes? He was played by a different actor, right?
Just one episode.
Yes, one episode. Okay,
one episode. Yeah,
and then you could tell, like the character, like the idea of that character totally changed after that first actor left.
Oh yeah,
got, the new Morty Seinfeld. But
completely.
That's a great pick. That is actually, I can say it when I get to it later in the list, but he is also on my list as well. Very good, Greg. What is your number 4?
My number 4, sticking with kind of like Jerry's relatives here, or parental figures, is Uncle Leo.
Yes.
Uncle Leo, hello. Cousin Jeffrey, always showing off cousin Jeffrey.
Yeah.
We never actually do meet Jeffrey.
I was gonna say, do we ever see Jeffrey?
I don't think so. Jeffrey's mentioned 2 or 3 times. Works for the Pox department. So. He's code 5950 at the bookstore. He's got his eyebrows painted on. He's almost like the older version of Kramer a little bit. He's just kind of prowling around the streets a little bit, up to no good. And, he's finding the watch in the garbage can, the wallet, everything.
Yes.
So, just kind of like that sneaky old dude or whatever.
Is it Elaine that draws the eyebrows?
The eyebrow,
he looks angry too. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I
love that. I feel like that's a very real relationship between Jerry and Uncle Leo.
It is,
like an uncle in that place in New York City or whatever, and your Nana hasn't left the apartment in 15 years, or whatever it is. So, big Uncle Leo fan.
Great pick. Man, I need, after this episode, I need to just go upstairs and watch a bunch of Seinfeld on Hulu or Netflix or whatever, or HBO Plus, whatever it's on. I don't know, but all right.
I don't think it's on anything.
Oh, did they take it off?
A little bit of a streaming.
They took it off of a Hulu already.
Might have. I know it was on for a while.
It's going to Netflix next.
It is going to Netflix.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes.
All right, my number 4. When I was a kid, I thought this person was played by the real person, and that is George Steinbrenner. When I was a little kid, I'm like, wow, they got the Yankees Steinbrenner to come on the show. And then obviously realizing, I think the voice is done by
Larry David.
Yes. Yeah. But I love, there's so many callbacks to just how are the Yankees any good at this time in the 90s when Steinbrenner's running the team. And
Kramer comes in, he's like, Steinbrenner, he's ruining my life.
Yeah.
So
The fact that Jerry calls in the bomb threat, instead of leaving, he takes all his grandkids and they're running around the stadium. And then I think they hide under George's desk, right?
Yeah, that's where he's been napping.
That's where he's been
napping. Ticking from his alarm clock.
Right. Obviously also wanting the, what's it called? The pizza.
Calzones?
The calzones.
The
Yes.
calzones. Yes, that's got to be my favorite.
That's a great episode. The fact
that is in the building.
Yep.
Just the voice that Larry David does for that is so good, because it's not, at least from my recollection of hearing George Steinbrenner on, baseball games or in press conferences, he doesn't sound anything like that, really, at least in my understanding. So just the fact that they totally went full caricature of him. I love it. And I'm not a Yankees fan. Don't really like them at all, but I love that character. So number 4, George Steinbrenner.
I guarantee you, when most people think of Steinbrenner they think of Seinfeld and that. And I know I certainly do.
Oh, of course.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind. So
of course. So, all right, Vinny, are we up to your number 3 now?
Yes, Frank Costanza.
Oh, he's also on my list.
There's no Festivus without him, and the feats of strength. I mean, what's not
a lot of problems with you?
Yeah, I love how he goes right into it, and then he stops. He's like loses his train of thought, and then just sits down.
Yes, Jerry Stiller. I love Jerry Stiller so much. Him,
fantastic actor.
Between playing, the elder Costanza, and then also playing the dad Arthur on King of Queens.
King of Queens. Yeah,
great actor. Yeah,
I love that his divorce lawyer was Larry David with a cape.
With a cape, man, in a cape.
Your dad was walking around the town with a guy with a cape. What?
Yeah, I love his like arguments with the Seinfeld family, because they too good for us when they moved down to Double.
Oh, that's a great rivalry. Yeah,
great rivalry.
Stealing the Schnitzel's rye back.
Yes.
They didn't put my rye out.
Yeah,
I took it.
Yeah.
I also love the episode where he learns to cook again, and he's cooking for the Jewish singles, and
he cracks the
flashbacks.
Egg. Yeah. He's like, "Well, it sucks," or "Well, it stinks." Yeah. And he cracks the egg. I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
Just those eccentric ways, and just him randomly losing his mind or whatever is just beautiful.
I love.
You could tell George's upbringing was just horrific between the two of them.
Wasn't there one where George shows his like family vacation slides, and you can hear
that was for the Andrea Doria episode.
Yes, and you can hear him
trying to compare to the Survivor. Yeah,
he's getting yelled at in the background by his dad. So
or I love even his birthday video. Come on, blow out the candles. Then you hear us still go, "You're killing him."
I also love the episode with the maestro, and he's got the pool table up in the upstairs, and they're playing and they're not wearing pants. None of them have pants on for the creases, right? Isn't that what it was?
Yes, got to keep that perfect seam.
Oh man, great pick, Vinny. That's a great one. So, all right, Greg, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Morty Seinfeld.
Morty.
I feel like Vinny and I are gonna have the same list, just in a different order. So.
Yes, I think you're right.
Nothing against the first actor that played Morty Seinfeld. They didn't know what they wanted to do, I suppose, right there.
Yeah.
But what the character turned into, like all the reasons you guys mentioned too. But the raincoats, and when he's trying to cut a deal with, is it Rudy who buys the used clothes?
Yes.
Who doesn't Jack Klompus has to send him in overnight, and you see him coming, baggage claim, they're all in pieces or whatever, and it ends up being because of Frank Costanza's moth-ridden clothing that the deal falls through. Because of him, you're not buying my raincoat. Just that whole story arc is beautiful. So just trying, just kind of like a cheap guy trying to get ahead. You try when the pony remark when Manya dies, and he's mostly concerned about he got the Super Saver tickets and they're non-refundable. So he goes as far as trying to get an army transfer flight back to the Sarasota base. So just great stuff all around with that.
So good. Excellent. All right, we already said this one too. My number 3 is Newman. I think we kind of already went over everything. I love that character. I love him being the foil to Jerry, and I love the fact that he gets so well along with Kramer.
Do you guys know who the original Newman was?
No.
It was just a voice, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was Larry David.
Oh, was it?
Was it Larry
that makes
David?
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now hold on. Let me think of that was an earlier episode. That's when he's threatening to commit suicide, right?
Yeah, jump off the building.
Jump off the roof. And Kramer's like, Newman calls me up to tell me he's going up on the roof to kill himself.
Yeah.
What'd you tell him? I said jump.
Yeah.
At least I give the guy credit for accomplishing something. Yeah, that was just what episode was that? I don't remember the episode, but I remember that was a voice cameo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
they went
the
back
end of the episode.
and did it in like syndication, didn't they?
Oh,
like
really?
they actually imposed Wayne Knight's. You won't see it on like the original release. Like if you're streaming it, it'll still be the original one. But like when they put it on TV, like when it's running on Fox, they actually went back and put Wayne Knight's voice. They covered it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So good call.
Yeah,
Vinny.
he that is I didn't even realize that, but
yeah.
I
like
still
a blink and you miss it moment, you know.
I love his work with the post office, and I love that. Was it Wilford Brimley ends up being like the
postmaster
general, and he calls in Newman. Yeah, so just a great character. Great,
he's
like
handcuffed with like a bag on his.
Yeah,
yep. And it's so weird. Like I'm a huge fan of Third Rock from the Sun, and to see him play such a different character on that show compared to Newman, it took like an adjustment period, but. This reminds me. Okay, all this Larry David talk. Have you guys watched Curb Your Enthusiasm before?
I have not. I've heard it's really good.
I've started it.
Okay.
And there was no good reason why I didn't continue on with it. It was really funny. And
there's been so many times I've meant to start it and I never have. And I'm assuming I would like it because I like Larry David. But
well, I don't know about you guys. Everyone who loves Seinfeld has told me if you love Seinfeld, you're gonna love Curb. So
yeah, it's similar.
I've heard that from almost everyone. So I just never have given it the time yet, which I feel like I should. So
maybe I'll get into it then. All right. Vinny, what's your number 2?
My number 2, and quickly on that the episode that he first shows up in, the Revenge episode.
The Revenge,
that was a great George episode.
Yes, that slip him the Mickey and the concrete in the washing machine.
Yes. Oh God, that is one of the funniest Kramer scenes when Kramer gets the concrete in the eye. Yeah.
Love the idea, the thought process too. We'll mix it in with the cycle, and by the time it's done, it'll be a solid block.
Yeah,
not a bad idea. Only can put his mind to something worthwhile.
Yeah,
right.
Like Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
great line.
Awesome.
Okay, my number 2 was David Puddy.
David Puddy.
Yep. And it pretty much for everything you guys had. I think it was Justin. He was on your list. Yep. Everything that you said, the jacket or the fur coat, and then it goes to the 8-ball jacket, or and then when going on that whole Christian thing, when they go to the priest, and he goes, "Well, you two are sleeping together and you aren't married." He goes, "Well, you're going to hell."
Both
and
of
then
you.
The priest starts making or I think Elaine makes a joke to the priest about the devil, and then they make the devil face, and he goes, "Stop! Don't do that, priest. I just found out I'm going to hell."
Don't worry, it'll only feel like an eternity.
Yeah, exactly. That's the line.
That's such a good character.
I'm just gonna say, guys, that David Puddy was the guy that was in my honorable mentions. I actually had. It was between Lloyd, David, and one other guy I'll get to at the end. But it was hard. It was really hard to keep him off this list. So I'm glad you guys both had him on. So fantastic character.
Excellent. Greg, I think we're up to number 2 for you.
Well, I believe the rest of my list has been covered.
Yeah, mine too.
Okay, I'm gonna go through it anyway. Number 2 is Newman for me, man.
Newman for you.
Just the rivalry with Jerry. But I also not only do that, I love the rivalry. I think I love even more when they actually collaborate and get along.
Yeah.
Kind of like the sniffing accountant or the shower heads or something like that. I'm probably missing one because I think that's pretty funny too. Or even the soup, even the soup Nazi.
Together, that's right.
Because they were kind of looking out for each other, and was telling him, "The soup Nazi's going away. I'm going home to get a big pot. No more soup, Jerry. No more for any of us." So, I mean, I always find that pretty funny too, because they will between him, Kramer and Jerry, sometimes
it's a good mix.
They band together and for a greater cause.
And it was Newman. It was Newman and Kramer that played Risk, right? Was it the two of them? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ukraine is weak.
Yes. Ukraine not weak. I'm from Ukraine.
And they flip the board on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And getting back to that non-fat yogurt episode too, even you can see how happy it made Newman because he's even going to Jerry, saying it's not fat. I've been waiting for something like this my whole life, and it's finally here. The last line I'll say is when Jerry, the Kenny Roasters chicken episode.
Yes.
When Kramer finally gives away his fight. It's like the final clue or whatever. For Jerry wising up to Kramer, and then the steamed broccoli.
Yes.
And he's like, hold it, broccoli. Kramer or Newman, you wouldn't eat broccoli. It was covered in chocolate sauce. And he has to shoot the honey mustard after trying a piece. Just good stuff.
I love
right
that. The
there.
honey mustard slams it.
Good honey mustard, quick.
I think of that episode every time I have to eat broccoli.
Yes.
Vile weed.
Right. It's funny how that show does that. The one littlest thing, it goes right. You can almost relate anything back to Seinfeld.
Yep.
Yes, you can.
Show about nothing.
It's amazing too that show. I mean, it's going on. It's been off the air for almost 22 years, 23 years. It started over 30 years ago, and it's still like
still relevant today.
It's still relevant. And there's still things. And what cracks me up is I feel like Seinfeld. The next step to Seinfeld, more like depraved people, would be It's Always Sunny. Like there's always a scheme. There's always something going on. Except the characters on Sunny are way more disgusting. In a funny way, in a good way.
Way more vulgar.
Yes. All right. My number 2, we said already. My number 2 is Morty Seinfeld. Anytime he's in an episode, I love how cheap he is. I love how, being in Florida, and when I think they have the elections for the president of the board of the retirement community. I know. I always give my parents a hard time. The place they live in Florida is a little gated community like that, and you got to be over 55. And I'm like, oh, you're going to visit Del Boca Vista this weekend, So they totally have embraced it. So thankfully, they don't. My dad does not look like Morty Seinfeld, at least. So, all right, Vinny, what's your number 1?
This could be a little controversial, but this guy does not make an appearance. He's only named in the episodes, but he does not actually have a physical appearance in any episode. But this is Bob Sacamano.
Yeah.
Every little thing about Bob is just fantastic. His first
it's like Kramer's right-hand man.
Yeah, you never meet him.
You never meet him. The first time he pops up is when George has the heart attack, and Bob's the guy that went in for his hernia operation. And he came out, my name is Bob.
Don't let him cut you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the stories that Kramer tells about Bob, and it was at the Fatigues episode where Frank Costanza gets back into cooking.
Yes,
that whole episode started off with the invitation. They were all going to go to a party for Bob, and Elaine never got the invite.
Yeah, that's right. I totally
Elaine
forgot
got
about that
because of the Vietnam vet. Looking at Peterman. Elaine got the mail.
That's right.
That's right.
Yep. That's right.
Oh, good call. And shout out to Bob Sacamano's father in Florida, who Jerry got the senior, who got the Willards from. Is that right?
And not the Willards, not the Wizards. And it screwed up everybody's tip, the fancy tip calculator.
Right. Just left $15 for a BLT.
Yeah.
Good call. I love
awesome. Good. That was a good deep cut.
I had that in mind, Vinny. I was like, I know you love that character. I bet Vinny that ends up in an honorable mention.
Oh yeah, without
Vinny,
a doubt.
Number 1, that makes me so happy.
Without a doubt, that's a great one. All right, Greg, number 1.
Number 1 for me was an easy one for me, guys. It's Frank Costanza.
That's what my number 1 was too.
my absolute favorite arguably my favorite character on Seinfeld.
I think you're right.
Just the way growing up with this man, it's like you can always kind of imagine a little bit what it would be like, and you're like, oh god. Thank God it wasn't. But just the way he continues with George, as an adult, just the yelling, the banter back and forth.
When he becomes a bra salesman.
Yes, I was going to say that one.
Exactly.
They got the different cups.
The different cups. The A, the B, the C, the D. That's the biggest. How long does it take to get a bra? He asked me to get a pair of underwear. I'm back in 2 seconds. You know, that arguably one of my favorite episodes. If we ever get to, I'll give a little spoiler. The puffy shirt. I love that. So when George moved back in, that is you feel for him in that episode. That kind of gets the response.
And I think wasn't it Frank Seinfeld that collects the TV guides as well?
TV guy, yeah.
Yes. And then the one that gets the cheese on it, and then that creepy guy. Yeah.
Yep. That Elaine took.
Yeah.
Know?
Yeah, I love that
the TV guide.
Yeah.
Just a random stuff. Well written and well played too, because he's earlier in his career he was more, like a serious he's a pretty serious actor and to play, more serious roles, and now he switched to a comedic eccentric type of character. And if you listen to interviews, even with the cast, he's like, he took every bit of that, seriously. And for them to keep it together was the real challenge.
I don't know how they did it.
It'd just be like, scene and you go back to normal, but otherwise he'd be, yelling and screaming. It wasn't originally planned that way, but it just worked so well.
I feel like every scene with him devolves into him yelling and screaming.
I mean, whether that or even the fight with Elaine, you want a piece of me?
Yeah.
You got it.
Love that.
That was the one when we first decided to do this. I'm like, Frank is definitely.
That was with a bullet, for sure.
But yeah,
you guys got any honorable mentions? Vinny, you got any other honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got a list. I short list here. I have all right. What is it? 5 here. Okay. Jackie Childs, Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
Estelle Costanza.
Oh, she's a good one. Yeah.
Jay Peterman and the braless wonder Sue Ellen
Mishke.
She wasn't a really good character, but the episodes that she was in were fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The backwards episode.
She was heiress to the Baby Ruth? No.
Oh, Henry Candy.
Oh, Henry. Yeah. That's right.
Which is a very underrated candy bar.
I don't think I've ever had an O. Henry.
It's pretty good. Try one.
I remember they used to throw them on the field when Henry Rodriguez would hit a home run on the Cubs, which wasn't very often because he wasn't here very long.
Henry Rodriguez,
2 or 3 years, maybe, if that. Those are good. My honorable mentions. I only had 3, but 2 of them, I don't know if they are recurring characters. So obviously Jackie Childs is one of them. The other one I had was Estelle. I love that character as well. And then the 2 that I don't know if technically they're recurring was Lieutenant Bookman.
Nope. Yep. He recurs. He's in the finale.
Okay. Okay. I love that. Is one of my favorite episodes when he's, giving Jerry a hard time about not returning the books. And then lastly, I also love Judge Reinhold as Aaron the Close Talker. Also one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a single appearance. So, I
love the way he interacts with the Seinfelds.
Yes.
Yeah. Very creepy. Very creepy.
He just loves him for whatever reason,
Oh, not a problem at all. I'll be happy. So
I could have done so much more.
Yeah.
Like what? Why?
Yeah. Greg, what about you? Any other honorable mentions before we wrap up?
You guys pretty much nailed them right on the head right there. But the third guy that I was thinking to put at number 5, you mentioned, Vinny, was Jay Peterman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Alea, probably one of the better, bosses, supervisors of the show. And the whole Jay Peterman, while Elaine's employed there, just that whole story, that the whole time she's there, he's just hilarious.
Yeah.
The John O'Hurley, the actor, is amazing too.
He is great.
Yes. Just his mannerisms and all that. I mean, just real funny character. So
yeah,
awesome. Excellent. Well, I guess we're pretty much going to wrap up. Vinny, you got anything else you want to add before we close up shop?
Nope.
Thanks for coming back. We're excited to have you back.
Yes. Yeah. It's been far too long.
But obviously, if you need to take time with, with
the Jedi baby, how's
the Jedi baby? Yeah, how's that going?
Doing great. Great. Eats a lot.
Awesome.
Well, that's good.
Good.
Excellent. Greg, you got anything you want to plug or share before we wrap up?
Stay tuned for I've got Consider Them Slimed episode 7 in the works, hopefully to be recording this week.
Awesome.
I'm guessing many of you listen to this for baseball, so this is going to be a little Bondian. So I don't know how this is going to appeal to
I don't know,
many people.
Vinny, I don't know if you know this. Greg's got like almost 200 followers on Twitter, and I think most of them are Bond people. So, Greg, you're going to have to promote the hell out of it.
It's you two guys, and then the rest of the Bond folk. So I'm so glad. I don't know how many of them saw your comments.
I was going to say, if they saw ours, they might
send me
you.
private DMs. I'm like, hey, you really podcast with these guys? It's like, it's not a James Bond podcast. We're like,
they're decent
not
individuals.
Not yet. Right.
They just don't know shit about
if you follow me on Twitter, and if you're listening to this, which you're probably not, but get set for a new kind of mini series we're doing on slime. We hope to keep this going. Thank you to all the the community on Twitter. The Bond community has been fantastic. So I want to start interacting with you guys, getting you guys on the podcast, because a lot of you guys have some good thoughts, and we'll bring Vinnie and Justin on to just completely shell shock these guys with our fandom. So.
Well, I got
that's all I got, Justin.
I got 4.5 weeks till I got to get back to work, so I got to start watching some Bond movies. I can.
What have you been doing this summer, Justin?
Well, I finished grad school the first week of July, and then these last 3 weeks have been the Summer of George version of my summer. So
Summer of Justin,
right
there.
Yeah. So, all right.
Stuff.
Well, on that note, thank you all for listening. We'll be back sometime next week. We also have our interview with Chris, who worked for the White Sox at Comiskey. So we'll be having that on Thursday. We'll talk all about what it's like behind the scenes working at a baseball stadium. And yeah, that's it. So you can, if you want to share something with us, tell us your favorite Seinfeld characters or any info about what you think the Sox and Cubs are doing. Let us know. Email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com. Facebook.com/baseballandwhatever, and tweet us at Twitter at baseballandwhat. That's all we got. Thanks for listening. Have a great night, and we will see you guys next time. See you guys.
See you. Good night, everyone.